It's over 15,000. We've got, yeah, it varies slightly from year to year, not by very much. And 15,000 also includes like grant students. So sometimes you ask that and you might only get an undergrad number. But I think as of this morning, we had 2,300 in already, and we were expecting 2,300 and more today, so.
You take it.
Hey, Kate.
Load of air.
How's it going?
I had drafted.
How you doing, Mary? Yo, what's up, Godfather?
Susan is our next one, who was taking notes. But the only thing I had from Greg is that we have some type of group, just the Google group. And I wasn't sure if that really.
Well, the group still operates, but only Carla, I think Susan, was taking notes and Greg had access to it. So I can never get involved in it,
Yeah.
you know, so that doesn't bother me so much, because I'm the one who's usually, when you send me things, I have my own kind of leader, people I know want, and then Carla would run.
Oh, no, I know, they reached out to me, yeah, it was legal for me. I had to do it. And the only thing I had to, I mean, because it came through from public records.
Right, exactly, and.
But you know, they're not on the agenda.
So I think Carla knew I.
Okay.
Request to. Sure, bring it.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, about 2 years ago.
They didn't do something, they just said,
Oh, that's. Yeah.
yeah.
What if they?
But they submitted it to OSU for me, so I had to comply, which I don't want to switch. That's the reason I switched ahead.
Yeah.
But it's.
Yeah, it is.
Like the last. And I.
So the other thing I had is forms.
We had one presentation to something from Columbus City Schools
And.
about some back to school thing.
What I was getting.
Yeah, well, there's.
Nice.
Just remember, you're supposed to always point that right at Seth.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It is. Don't worry.
A speaker.
Goes to Seth.
And
Okay.
he's a media guy, he's an old time media guy.
Oh, okay.
You want to do the best hits of, you can never be too dense. Church houses are great. Holly, what a church house?
I love their.
The old Mort CU. Did I show you it? Jeff Stats. Number one. He,
Right on time to do that.
Mm.
I thought it was gonna be late.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's quite a shirt.
Wonders never see. No one else. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. No.
Eric and I met through the committee, and then I had stuff with my legislation.
Yeah.
But I'll bring it up.
Yeah. There's, I think there's gonna be. I mean,
Well.
Hey, man. It's actually working this week.
Hey, it is.
My God, I can't believe it. The last time I could not get the computer to recognize it, so I think you're here. So I was hoping you would come because I didn't think I would be able to do this, but look, it works. I don't know why.
Okay, great. Great minds think alike. Yeah.
So it should be a short meeting.
Yes. 'Cause I was like arguing with myself, with moving and everything. Like I've been running around for like the past like 14 days. I've been on campus like 13 of them, 10, 12-hour days every day because there's always access things, training, other things going on. So I was just like, I want to go to the meeting. I was like, there's 2 zoning things. Both of them are for block parties.
This one is canceled. It's only this one. This is Nora back here, so
Yeah, so I was just like,
it'll fly by.
this is beautiful.
However,
Then
Tom is here.
and you're early, which might be the most foreboding thing of all.
Hello.
I like meant to kind of find about it, and I meant to send it to you right when I got the call about it, and then I went into a meeting, and then I was like, I was like,
How have you been? I'm sorry I missed the last
that's
community
okay.
relations meeting.
It was nice. We talk about the web page. I've been working with Savaria. What's her first name? Juanita. No. Anyway, with people from
okay, so this is what I'm thinking.
that are doing our website, Design Center.
So,
Yeah.
And she's really good. She's already redone she redid the logo again, which is fun.
Yeah, I saw that. Like I opened up the website today and was like, whoa, there's some nice things going on in there already.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been playing with it, trying to update some things, getting rid of things. But hopefully once they're done, she seems to think it's only going to take a couple weeks. And I'm like, a couple of weeks? I've known people that spent years on websites.
Well, I guess if they're working with like a template.
Yeah, it won't be that hard. And you're going to use Wix. I don't know if you're familiar with website development. Okay. It's either Wix or WordPress. WordPress is kind of clunky and a pain in the ass. Wix is, she says it's a little easier to be more creative too.
Yeah, like we use WordPress on campus for like a staff website for my students. And there are some nice things about it, don't get me wrong.
It's very easy, very templated. Well, not easy. I hate it myself. But she compared it to WordPress to Microsoft Word and Wix to InDesign. That's kind of the difference. A lot more play with Wix.
Yeah. Well, also like I think part of the thing, especially with Windows, there's so much like bloat that comes along with it, and it's like, you know, they don't force creators to upgrade to the modern version, so then they have all these people who are running. There's some people who have Windows XP, Windows 98 that they're still doing updates and stuff for. It's like at some point, I'm just like force people to like go to the modern website and do like the modern thing, and I think WordPress also kind of caters to people who like haven't upgraded from like WordPress like 4.3.25 or whatever it is, and so then because of that it just makes the site clunkier and makes like and things like that, because you know every time you make an update you need to accommodate for all these people who refuse to update. And you know you have all this like extra like programming bloatware. That's what I've noticed. I don't know if it's actually true, but that's what it feels like. Because gosh, it was just like last year that Windows like announced that they were not going to update like Windows XP anymore and Windows like
Really?
yeah, and it was just like wait, people still use that?
Yeah.
You have,
It's like I didn't know that you could even like use that anymore. But apparently, like if you got a license, you can still have Windows 98 on your computer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know
It's
that.
like
I never have to deal with that crap. So
yeah. Oh yeah, because you use Apple.
yeah,
13, 14, 15? Yes.
which is buggy enough. Windows it drives me crazy. I've had to use it a couple times. And no.
They also did a huge change in Windows 11, and so now they're kind of like paralleling Apple a little bit more, which is nice for people who, like me, move back and forth all the time. Like, no issue was like Windows everything, which is awful. But like, I have an iPhone, I have an iPad. My wife uses like all Apple stuff. And so like I transition back and forth all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like Windows 11 parallels it more, but then anybody who's never used Apple just has no idea where anything is because now it's just
Yes.
it's just
Yeah.
a complete 180.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and Apple, you click on it and it opens.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not the way
Nobody did.
Yeah, no one's in
that is and that word is.
Yeah, and I just, I'm really
Do we even have enough for quorum right now?
I don't think we do. We need 11? Oh,
12.
it was an, okay, okay, cool. Excuse me, did you guys want to speak tonight? Did you want to address, you do? Have you filled out a form, speaker slip? Oh, yeah, they are. Did you need an computer? Oh.
Good evening, and I'm sorry we got a slight delay, just want to keep an eye on you back there, I believe it's still on. So please help yourself. But we've arranged for things on the agenda for tonight, we have one of the last cancellation. So I was just trying to check in with everything. And then getting ready to start. And I know that there's a gentleman here who wants to talk about gas swimming club, and I suspect that there will be others. So there will be a sign-in sheet, which is Tim's leaving right there. If I people to at least leave the name and address and email, so we have a listing of who's here giving any sort of testimony tonight, because everything I'm getting is emails, and usually everybody on the commission sees my reply, knows that it's going to advertise in the city at the same time, because we don't make that decision. It's made by the city attorney and the department of legal. So we want to make sure that we cover all of our bases here. So Michael, since you're sitting so close to the end, if you see other people coming in who you think might be part of that.
Okay.
Who wants to speak,
Mhm.
to run the city.
Mhm.
and
Sure.
other reports,
Do you need speaker slips?
And actually, speaker slips are always good because it's another paper record.
Okay. She's filling out one, so I told her to give it to you after.
No, that's perfect.
Okay, great.
Well, general audience address it.
Oh, general audience, definitely. Sign in for anyone who is here who is not participating as either a commissioner or a representative of an organization. That makes sense. Now that we look like we're ordered to start.
We're going to talk about the bar under planning.
All right, Jillian Dyer.
Planning. Is that what you're here for? The bar? It's on the agenda. You just can't tell.
Jeff Gallagher.
Yeah.
So just not in attendance.
Nah, we know it.
I do. Justin Garland.
Justin is asked for an excuse because of the
That would be nice, yes. And here's,
Seth Golding.
yeah, that's the agenda.
David Headley. David Jenkins, I assume is not. Michael Kellmeyer.
Here.
Katie McDevitt is here. Benjamin McKinley.
Here,
Demetrius Moore Saunders.
He's coming late.
Okay, Kevin Pangrace.
Nothing.
Lewan Sellers.
He's asking excuses, special change for the youth supervisors.
Kim Sublette. Dora Newhouse-Sauer. Here. Steve Waldron. Here. Brian Williams.
Here.
Tom Wildman. Glenn Demetrius is not here until he arrives. At 13 present.
So, again, welcome. The agenda's been kind of turned around a little bit, especially so we have speakers who are hoping for community members. It was for their convenience to be put on the agenda a little bit early. Also, our police officer Mark will not be able to come tonight. And I'm never sure about Harrison if he will evaluate the work he's doing tonight. So why don't we start with Catherine?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I sent out an email today with most of the. Better now?
We're
Okay.
gonna have to get closer.
You really
I might have turned the volume down, so.
Okay. Very few updates for you. One to call attention to is the short north paid parking extending to midnight. That will move from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. in the short north on High Street, Rodale Street, and the side streets immediately off High. Parking rates will stay the same at their hourly rate, but just for awareness, this is a big one from Public Service to support safety and access in the short north area. We had a really lovely, intimate group at Vineland Park's National Night Out. Commissioner Demetrius Moore Saunders was able to join us. We had a visit from the mayor, and then this weekend coming up will be Vineland Park's big community festival. So if anybody's available to stop by, all are welcome. Other events that are taking place, anything for commissioners' awareness, I tried to put into the monthly emails that I'm sending. If there's anything from any of your organizations, your districts that you'd like me to include, please provide those to me by the 15th of every month. If there are flyers, attachments, a special blurb, or a link you'd like me to include, please send those to me as well. Thank you.
Thank you for providing them ahead of time, all the notes. That was very helpful for me.
Officer Harrison Sager, Matt Hanson.
Hi, just two quick updates for you. We have just announced Euphoria will be opening in the former World of Beer space. No problem. Is this on?
It is, but I think the volume is way low on the.
Yeah.
It's my one volume.
Yeah, that's there. This is any better? No?
Hey, make sure, you got, it's best to hold it like an inch from your mouth.
Do you have closed captions on you?
Okay, so, World of Beer, which has been vacant since before the pandemic, finally got it leased out.
Wow.
Just announced that, Euphoria will be opening up there at the end of the month, maybe beginning of September. It is being operated by the same owner as Old North Arcade. And, he is programming a space for, different card games, bands, trivia nights, so it'll have wide appeal for everybody of all ages. And, it will feature a pour your own beer tap system. So you can go in there, load a card up, pick how much you want to pour into your glass, and get it up off the card. Dory's gonna be a look.
I think we're trying to visualize.
So it's a electronic bartender essentially. And then, our two tenants, Mac Shack and, Annie Ann's and Cinnabon finally got their building minutes, which were held up at the state level, and so they're gonna be starting construction here soon.
Did you say Cinnabon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that in Gateway or is that?
At a gateway, yeah.
Could you tell us geographically where those are?
So, remember Panera,
Yes.
at the corner of, West 11th and, High Street. Cinnabon will be on the corner, Mac Shack will be, in between, GameStop and the new Cinnabon. And then World of Beer is in the alley, across the street from Game Arena. And it's got the big patio up front as you walk towards the Gateway Parking Garage. That's where Euphoria is going to be.
Can I gently remind everyone, we usually wait for questions till all the teams are done, so thank you. Next, I believe it is Nora. I put my glasses on.
Yeah.
And Nora, we can do block party, so.
Right, no, I know, but I am still going to mention the Pearl Jam. This is not my zoning application for the block party, but if all goes well tonight, we are going to be hosting the Pearl Jam, which is a cultural arts festival on October 7th and 8th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. Really why I'm, not only do I want you to know about it, but also if you have anyone in your network that is a muralist or an artist or a performing artist, musician, we have open entry forms where we are, asking people to submit their interests and a little bit about themselves and either a little bit of their portfolio, whether it's music or art, and then so that we can make a selection of the highlighted musicians and artists for that event. And we'll talk about it more when I come back up here. Additionally, I'm very excited about Euphoria. You should also go check out the Old North Arcade because they're getting a new mural right now. So that's another reason to go check them out. And then in early September, we are going to be deploying our can ferries with the Ohio EPA grant. This is to incentivize students living on 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th to throw their can into a box instead of in the lawn and to recycle those. And this is a grant funded through Ohio EPA. So I will send more information out as we get closer, but I'm excited to launch that here in the next few weeks. And I think that's it for now.
Thanks, Rochelle. And Rochelle, we should put you first next month, you know? You said I'm gonna sign always on the bottom of here. Yeah. why don't we do that?
Well, hello everyone. So we have quite a few events coming up as the students are coming back into the University District and back to school. So we have our off-campus community welcome that is taking place this Friday. This is where we have lots of volunteers within our community partners, staff within Student Life at Ohio State. And we go door to door welcoming students to the University District and also sharing resources with them. So that will be happening. So if you see lots of volunteers, or Ohio State, people wearing Ohio State gear, that will be a lot of our team members out there. We also will be having our University District Block Party food truck event. So this is going to be happening on the 25th from 3 to 6 at the GEM School. This is, again, just another opportunity to welcome students back to the area. We will have some tables there with different resources such as 301, refuse, and a few others. We welcome you all to join us and anyone else in the area as well. Our office hours for our summer are starting, or academic year is starting back to regular office hours on Monday. But we will be open on Sunday with our student involvement fair happening after, but those office hours are primarily focused on distributing safety devices to students that are back on campus. We have our community roundtable coming up on August 14th. That's our next one. And so that's our community roundtable that we host with all of our property owners and community stakeholders. And then as far as our student education, we're really excited because we've made a lot of advancements in this area over the summer. And so we have our third year and beyond curriculum, the framework of it developed with our educational priorities and learning goals. And so we're looking forward to piloting a lot of components in relation to that curriculum this coming year. With our first and second year efforts, we just had a commuter preview day on Monday where we welcomed almost 150 commuter students, campus change students, transfer students, and commuters that are going to be coming to Ohio State for the first time in the fall. And we spent the day with them and really provided opportunities for them to get to know other students, and also had a lot of different community and Ohio State resources there available for them as well. And then we're also excited to launch a Kerman course, which will be additional efforts focused around educating our second year students and helping them to prepare to move off campus. And we are piloting that with some STEP cohorts and look to expand that program after the pilot. We also distributed our long-term neighbor newsletter that went out on Monday, so hopefully most of you got it. And if you haven't, please let me know. I'd be happy to pass that along. Had a lot of dates of our upcoming initiatives for this semester. We also are continuing our trash sweeps in collaboration with city code enforcement. So that's where they will we have a few days picked out throughout the fall semester where code enforcement will go out, see if there's trash and lawns. They will issue notices to the property owners, and they'll give them 2 days to rectify. If it's not, then they will issue citations. So those efforts will be continuing this semester. And then we are collaborating with the city attorney's office to send a joint letter out from Student Life and the city attorney, just reminding students in the University District about some of the ordinances related to noise, trash, banners, furniture on the exterior of the house. So just some friendly reminders to help set them up for success. Thank you.
Do commissioners and go around to their questions for any of the people?
Nora, you said that the can fairs are on 12th, 13th, and 14th?
And 15.
And 15th.
That yeah. There'll be 200 houses. So anybody living on those streets, that's where we're targeting. So the first 200 houses to sign up on those streets, that's where we're gonna go first.
And then for clarity, the Old North Arcade mural, is that with the Neighborhood Design Center again?
No, I think that's just Old North Arcade.
All right, great job. Thank you.
Yeah, it's Adam Hernandez as well. So the one that he did on Village Idiot that we got with GCAC, he's doing now on Old North Arcade.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, do you have any questions?
Yeah, two things actually. One, I'd like to thank the city for the refuge division for doing a great job on move out so far. And we'll see what happens when move in and move out. It seems like they're coming out regularly, cleaning things up. There's a few trouble spots, but nothing like that has been in the past. So I'd like to get some sense of thanks. I spoke to the supervisors in charge of that program on the street and thank them as well. But I think they're doing a phenomenal job this year. The other thing I'd like to bring up is something that came up in Glen Echo, Neighborhood Forum Group, and that is the Glen Echo Ravine. There is apparently a teepee that kids play in, and homeless camp has invaded it, and they're finding little tinfoils lying around that might be related to heroin and fentanyl. I would like someone from either the city or maybe NOR, maybe the group that you're with, working with the homeless to find out what's really going on down in that area, and see if we can talk to the homeless and make sure that the tinfoils are not theirs.
Where was this? Where was the
It's in
teepee?
Glen Echo Ravine. Katie might know more about this, but it was just brought up that I can read it to you what was written. It says, has anyone already reported the homeless camp? It's been there for a while. They took over the teepee, which is a shame, because kids playing there. I'm not finding lots of square aluminum foil pieces, which is creating a huge biohazard situation. If you don't know what that is, don't touch them. It is for their heroin, and it is highly likely it has traces of fentanyl. That's the message that was sent out. And even Katie and I were going to bring this up today. Thought I'd bring it up now. Maybe one of you two might know the right direction to go.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
I was just gonna say thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. You can forward, if you have an email with a concern and it hasn't been submitted to 311, please forward that to me and I will submit that tonight to our homeless
I would
outreach
have
team.
Kelly Ann post this contact you.
Okay.
She should be the person to talk with.
Yes, please. So we do have an outreach team with the city of Columbus that will address those camps. So we do want to make sure that it's reported into 311, and they actually have a review meeting tomorrow, so I can elevate that to their attention for tomorrow. Thank you.
That's one of the questions.
I was just curious, when the Wyland Park thing this weekend, what was the time on that?
12 to 3.
12 to 3, that's at the school, I think?
In their park space, yeah.
Oh. Now,
I was gonna ask Rochelle, when you send out that long-term resident email, could you go ahead and just send it, add like commissioners at university area, that way it'll hit all of us and we can potentially further share it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, Swid, I had a question, based on Tom's comment, I mean, it really concerns me that 311 isn't really an emergency. It's not really to report emergencies, and if there are legitimately foils with trace amounts of, I mean, within potentially trace amounts of anything, it feels like a hazmat team or somebody should go take a look sooner rather than later, because it could be a serious health risk if it's legitimate. So I don't know if there's a way to escalate that beyond just 311.
I think Parks and Rec could certainly send a group out there and investigate.
Yes, that was why I requested it come to me so I could elevate to our outreach team. And for specific 311 requests, they are prioritized that way. So if people report sharps, needles, anything that's in this drug use, a team does go out more immediately.
Cool.
That's,
Good to know.
yeah, very good point. Thank you.
Any questions?
no.
I do not.
Nope.
Okay, then we'll talk. Sir, second question from the administration. We'll stay on our agenda then. Michael, thank you for.
Sure.
letting people know that's-
Sure.
So we wanted to move up the public comments and announcements because we knew that there were a number of people from the community who wanted to speak about various issues, including up in the Sona area. So we're moving on the agenda here. if you have a speaker, if you'd like to speak, it would be nice to have you fill out a speaker's list and we can keep track of, who has been talking to us and we can stay in touch with you. And I think some of you are already doing that. And then, the gentleman who came in first, are you Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, so, I know that you've been here since we had arrived with elections. Would you like to come up and, speak to us, or you were sort of wondering, or you wanted to just make sure that your attendance was noted?
I'd just like to share quickly,
No, I think you should, and come this come up and use the
Yeah,
microphone.
use the
Because
microphone.
somebody's down us,
We're all
because
old.
you have, perhaps, a longer term, relationship with that neighborhood, you've been there a long time, so I think what you have to say is something very important.
my name's Dan Moriarty. I am a longtime resident, directly across from Jack's Horn Pub. I live directly across the street. I've lived there for 32 years. First thing I'd like to say is I noticed that some of the friends and family of the young man here that was killed are here, and I just express my heartfelt condolences for the family and friends. I guess what I have to say, I sent initially an email last night, if I could just read that email. The problem with Jack's Corner Pub is not so much in the pub. It's really in the street, outside the pub. That's where this young man was killed, outside the door. So when you say that the only people that can do anything about it are the liquor commission, well, they can take the liquor license, but are they gonna keep these people off of the sidewalks outside? It's kind of my question, if there's really nothing you can do. But I'm gonna just read what I emailed. My name is Dan Moriarty. I've lived directly across the street from Jack's Corner Pub for over 30 years. Things have dramatically changed in the last 2-3 years. The owner, Paul, likes to compare Jack's to the bar on the TV show Cheers. When the city of Columbus addressed this issue, he brought that up, and they gave him chances to correct these issues when there was a shootout in the street a couple years ago. But he compared Jack's to the bar on the TV show Cheers. Prior to the last 2 or 3 years, there may have been some similarities, but it's now not the norm. Party is more often on the sidewalk in front of the bar, where the patrons can smoke, pass a joint around, and even though Jack's has restrooms, they often found peeing on the side of the building. I don't recall multiple gunshots, or murders taking place in Cheers on TV. My thought is that this bar needs to be canceled for more than one reason. It's a public nuisance, not just for liquor violations by serving people too much, but I think it really needs to step beyond that to cover the street too, because people are partying at 1 o'clock in the morning outside of the bar on the street. Cars are pulling up in front of the bar. There's drug activity. It's really a mess. And it has been for a couple of years. So I'd just like to just make that statement and take it from there.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
The second person, I'm having a hard time reading tonight. I think these are the ones that are glasses here. But who's reading this?
Deshauna or Deshauna Reed.
This is my son that was murdered. His name is Joseph Deshaun Tremaine Reed. He was an artist.
Could you use this speaker?
Okay. He was an artist, a producer. He loved to make music. He was 23 He has 4 beautiful children that's left behind. Christian First, we are members of North Broadway United Methodist, grew up in church. My son simply that night was called to aid his sister. And my issue with Jack Pub is the bartender too has a hand in this. There was a situation inside the bar, and I know for sure that people are overly intoxicated in the bar. People actually smoke marijuana or whatever, probably sell drugs in the bar also. They don't have any type of security there to check people when they come in, so I know for sure the guys are going in there with guns. Taking drinks outside and outside of the bar. I know for sure there's been underage drinkers in there being served. But on this particular night, my son had already been to the bar earlier in the day. This was he lived right up the street. He would stop here after a long day of DoorDash or whatever. He had one drink, he went home. My son was called back to the bar. Well, he wasn't called back to. He heard a phone call from his little sister. Patrons of the bar surrounded her. They were trying to fight her about someone's credit card or $30 came missing off of the bar. And I feel like the bartender, who wasn't on duty that night, but she was there drinking, has the first to do this with this because she supposedly went over to the camera, viewed the camera, and then walked over to my son's sister. But this young lady, I was told, was known to tap the cash register or do something with people's credit cards. So money or someone's card came up missing. My son's sister was still having a drink after she got through DoorDash. That's bar patrons, pretty much the whole bar jumped on her. She was forced to then, get out of there. She let off 3 shots. This girl weighs about 90 pounds. So when you have big, overgrown females and males coming at you, what do you want to do? So she ran off. She wrote her mother. My son heard the call. My son is a protector. For anyone that he loves, his sisters, his siblings, kids, if you call, he's going to come. He heard the call. No one called him. He heard the call. And he gets across the door, out the door to check on his little sister. He got to the bar. I guess by then they were closing out tabs or whatever. The bar was closed. The incident actually did not take place inside of the bar like the media said. My son was outside speaking to whoever was outside about the situation to make sure that his sister was okay. His stepmother walked up, a young lady that was with the guy that was in the bar drinking, said something to his stepmother. An argument ensued between the 2 females. The guy swung hit my son, and I'm sorry to say, but my son whooped his ass. He was a trained fighter. He was a good boy. He was a good young man. I guess at that point, the guy was upset and pulled a gun from someone else's waistline. Chased my baby down. My son had asthma. He slipped and fell, probably running around the car across the street. He fell, was nasty over my baby, and shot him in his head, in his arm, and the legs of his tender. And he ultimately died right there on that curb. Jackson. The crowd over the past, I can look at this statement. The crowd has grown a little dangerous, and that's largely due to other bars and other parts of the city being shut down due to the violence and murders. So they all come trickle down to little neighborhood bars. This is where the problem comes in now. If you see this starting to happen, why don't you do something about it? You don't have no one there, no armed security to check these people that come into this bar. There's nights where the bar is probably over, during COVID, overly crowded. There's no type of distancing during COVID. Because again, I used to go to this bar every now and then. For me, it was a bar that I could just dump off and have a drink in peace. We no longer have that peace at Jack's because even everyone's allowed to come in there now, and even everybody's allowed to drink, overly drink. The bartender should know better. You know, I bartend before. I have certification to be a bartender, and I know that there's a cutoff limit when it comes to patrons, and they're not doing that. So, yes, these bars need to shut down. My son's life was taken away with such a good guy, so caring. I have gotten messages from my son's friends. He did, when he was younger, he was a little hyper, got into a little minor trouble in school for fighting, so he was put into foster care for a year. But I have gotten nothing but the outpouring respect and from friends that he actually was foster brothers. Their parents, of how helpful my son was while he was in foster care to real children that were, had issues going on. My son was someone that would encourage you to do better. He wasn't a thug. He was a family man. He wanted to be one of the biggest producers and rappers. My son actually just left New York before he was murdered. He had a record deal in his head. He was a provider for his family. They no longer have that. He was 23 years old, and I have never seen a 23-year-old as enthused as he was, because he spent his time, if he wasn't out here going pumping on campus or door dashing, he was in his studio. He had his own equipment. He made beats. He would take somebody that probably couldn't go back or sing and make them sound good. He was that good. Now, I don't have my eldest son no longer to watch over me and his siblings because the negligence of this woman. The shootout didn't happen last year. It was literally like this winter. I follow Citizens. I'm on Citizens. My son did too. And we followed each other on Citizens. I'm always on this location. This particular night, we went up and he didn't have his phone, so I didn't know that that was my child. I woke up out of my sleep that my son had been shot. I got to the scene, everything was broke off, the whole corner. My lifestyle. His son started school today, kindergarten. He cried for his daddy because he wanted his daddy to be here. And it made me cry, of course, because I came to a 4-year-old. All I could tell him was that daddy's in heaven. He wants to call daddy in, he can't call daddy in. This water needs to be shut down. Here, there's no ifs about it. I'm looking at studio. I wouldn't mind having a bar myself, or turn it into a studio and honor my son. I want positive outlets. I want my son to be in vain. He was just going to protect his sister. And the media, their story, they make it seem like my son was, people are probably thinking that he was there, he was drunk and got into a fight, and that's not what happened. That's not what happened. My son knows is one drink and he's out there because of the type of crowd that comes in here. and he's usually there during the day before it gets dark. The vehicles, they loiter on the sidewalk, in the parking lot. The bartenders are, I'd say, overly friendly when it comes to the patrons. So it needs to, I mean, I understand that it was everything bar, I know it doesn't make it. You know, I probably had my first drink in that bar as an underage teen. So, yeah, it's about that time. I think the bar has run its course. You know, it's hard for me to go out there. I don't live a little more in the glass area. Someone came by, stuck the candles out and destroyed his flowers. So I'm gonna just plant a little rose this year when my child died. I can't wake up to my son anymore. I can't wake up to a FaceTime from my son in the morning. We left to bury my child with a GoFundMe campaign. So we buried my child. It hurts. Pain. I never imagined that I would have to feel. I've had friends with this, but me, I'm not supposed to be filled. So I really, maybe this part is this child is going to happen again. So another mother is going to lose this child, and I don't want to do that. My son's going to be the bottom. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I want to thank you for coming to us tonight. I don't think any of us would have any words that you have not heard from others. But it is so important for us to sort of try to have a better understanding, and so personally, as to how this area has affected you. I wish there was something else that we could offer you other than listening and really appreciating the time you've taken to let something so raw in you become part of us. And thank you for sharing that. Even though the circumstances are just unnecessary. I don't know if there's any other commissioners who would like to say something about this.
You know, for me, I'm from Youngstown, and when I was 12, my aunt was murdered, and it changed my life. It changed everything in my life, and it made me feel like there was no safety. Yeah. So I can't imagine what you're going through. And this is why we do what we're doing here. And I hope that you, like myself, become activists, as you're doing today. So the example of your mother and your family is something that I hope you remember for the rest of your lives, because you won't be able to forget the pain. I still can't. And I hope that you remember every single thing that your family, your brother, your son gave to you, because that will never go away either. But we want to work for you. Yes, absolutely. And we are here to stand up for you, and you are brave. And we will try to make it okay for you, all right? You're very important. You're very important, and that's why we're here.
Thanks. Other commissioners who might want to?
I'd like to thank you for coming here. It's really important that we hear what you just told us. There are many of us here that have tried for years to shut that bar down and have been unsuccessful. But we will continue to try to do that. You just have the person who has a committee, is the chair of the committee of planning, where we made a proposal to shut down the bar for liquor license rejection, which will be heard later on today. This is the second attempt to do this. We tried to do this last year, and it didn't happen. Had it happened, your son would be alive today. You're right. This bar is a trouble bar. I do block watch in that neighborhood, and I know exactly what goes on there all the time. I was heartbroken when I heard about the death. I went out the very next morning to talk to people. I feel for you. And your words are not lost on us. Could you also send a picture around? I'd like to see your son.
This was a picture, he was actually editing music. In this picture, it was taken by his sister. And his sister does photography. And she snapped that of him while he was editing music, that he was producing for some.
And please send her love. I don't know if one of you all are his sister, but I know the guilt of feeling like, you know, that responsibility is not on her, and I know y'all know that, but keep telling her that every day.
I tell her, he did what he came to your aid, he did what he was going to do regardless. He was coming to check on his sister, and I told her, you did what you had to do, that was your self-defense.
And I think, so Swayed Catherine Sodarski is our, she is like a liaison, so I think that we can also talk to you about, like, there's PTSD support and other things that you guys can all, you know, resources that we can share with you to make sure that you're supported. Because like I said, you know, we want to make sure that you get what you need as part of our community, and we hold you in our arms through this. So if there's anything we can do, we can partner with you to kind of help a little bit.
And I'd just like to add that I love what you said about you would like to see that bar goes down and turned into a studio in remembrance of your son. To have gone through what you went through, and then you're looking, you know, you have a goal, you're looking at positive change, something to not only personally remember your son, but to make the community stronger. I think that's very inspirational, and I appreciate that.
Like, he loves that, he loves that neighborhood, he grew up, he was born out of over there. You know, I went to Presby, in Clinton Elementary. You know, it's always been my area. When I was 14, I was on campus, on campus, you know, but he loved this area. That's why he chose to go to that bar, because it was pretty much, it used to be the street. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah, we have one more speaker, Laya, did I do that right? Pronounce that right? Holly-Ann, no, that's an N. Oh, it's an H, sorry. And then, did you want to speak about Jax, or?
Yeah.
Specifically with the committee report, so.
Well, I didn't know what to play.
Okay, that's fine.
Meeting with Katie.
Yep.
Yeah, my name's Holly, and I'm going to speak about Jack Club. Not only have I lost when someone that's like a son, me and Deshauna's children, our boys, are all best friends. But 6 years ago, I had lost another gentleman. He was probably about 35 years old, got shot down in front of that bar as well. I've been going to that bar probably since I was 18. You know, like she said, underage drinking, they don't care. Last year I did sign a petition because I wanted to stop to this bar. Just so you guys know, just within the last 3 weeks, we've gotten another like 600 people to sign that exact petition. As well as if you have any information you can give us to help out with getting the next petition going, that'd be appreciated as well. But this bar doesn't need to go. I don't know exactly what steps to take, but if any of you have any steps we can take, that would be great. Like she said, a studio, whether it's a community center for a free store or, you know, for people to come for free meals or whatever. Something needs to happen, and my name is Holly, and like I said, I just wanted to be a voice, another voice, and this for my friend here. So thank you all for listening to what she had to say. God bless you all.
Let's understand what this body is. This body of government is, we make recommendations to city council and the mayor, and that's what the liquor license objection format is. It's about the most we can do is object for the liquor license, and then it's up to the city attorney to investigate and to see whether there's room there to remove the liquor license, and from there decide whether they want to shut down the bar. So the only power we have is the liquor license objection. And we're in the process, and we were in the process last year, and it's stalled here at the commission. We're in the process again, and I'm hoping tonight, it is a motion that's going to be on the floor, and I hope unanimously, after you heard it tonight, from these people, that you vote unanimous in favor of the liquor license objection. That's the most we can do from that aspect. There are other things we will continue to do as individuals who live in the neighborhood, but I just wanted you to understand the process. I'm sorry for taking.
No, yeah, I think that's a great segue. I think we're, so I appreciate that, Tom. I think we're gonna change things around on the agenda just a little bit more and go right into the planning report so that we can hear the discussion that we had in planning related to Jack's Corner Pub for the benefit of all of the public that we have here as well.
Can I just point out that, Mr. Moriarty, you mentioned about the activities outside. Were they to lose their liquor license, it would cease to be a bar, and there probably wouldn't be anything going on outside. So, unless they're serving pop, and
No, it's been quiet for 3 weeks since they volunteered.
yeah, so that would pretty much make everything go away.
Yes, as Jeremy said, and I spoke with Katie, that there is a resolution, a motion coming on the planning, and actually, I think community relations was part of that too, because you were very involved with it. So you can certainly reply to report for other things, but if you would like to do an introduction to the motion, and we would go on.
Yes. Okay, so in the planning development committee, we had a number of different, so Tom brought up a motion to rescind Jack's pub's license, and we voted unanimously with 8 yeses to recommend that we take it to a full commission vote. And that would recommend that the University Area Commission recommends to the city that they rescind the license. So that's the goals of the vote today. Within planning and development, I don't know that we have anyone coming from the community, but the next week at community relations, they for some reason thought that it was last Wednesday. So there were actually many people that came to community relations to speak on behalf of Jack's Pub closing. And then Doreen just sent ahead, there was someone named Jesse Barr, who lives at 2471 Summit Street, diagonal from Jack's, has lived there for 20 years, has seen shootings, murders, fights, noise, drunk driving, muggings. Now has a 2-year-old son to care for, and he's a single dad. You know him. The recent murder of the 23-year-old was too much, have to move, something doesn't change, the rest of the neighborhood is so nice. Jack's is a light on the University District, and don't forget Hudson is a major first exit for folks coming to Ohio State. First thing they see is Jack's. Gather the other statements below, and I won't go into the entirety of the statements, but we have Emma Kirbyson, who is the owner of 614 Studio. You know, she's a business owner for 8 years, and her final sentence was by taking a stand against the negative interference from creating an environment where people and businesses can thrive and communities can be stronger. And then Greg Hall from the owner of Used Kids Records, basically says he's seen since 2014 significant improvement in the Sohad neighborhood and the vibrant, vital businesses. Jack's Corner Pub, as it currently exists, poses a threat to the continued success. He's witnessed multiple fights filling out the Summit, witnessed road closures on Summit for police dealing with those fights a few months ago. Some of Jack's in the middle of the afternoon in a fight, collapsed on Summit. You know, there's a lot of other issues that went transpired. Off the record, I personally have been told that they're selling drugs at Jack's. He does not advocate for the liquor license associated with the business to be terminated. He advocates for a viable business that contributes positively to the neighborhood and suggests that there's no reason that a local bar with a short food menu cannot thrive in Jack's location in Sohad. So we've gotten a lot of different, and then, you know, off the record at community relations, I think everyone that showed up, seemed to be, oh, there you are.
Where am I?
Seemed to be opposed.
Yeah, they were all opposed.
So do we want to do a round of comments from commissioners?
Would you read the motion as you have written it in the notes that you circulated to us? Okay, that's motion for that committee, so it doesn't need a second. And then we can take some discussion if we wish, or go around, and then.
The motion is that the UAC should recommend that the city rescind Jack's Corner Pub liquor license.
Is there further discussion or questions about the motion on the commission that we go around every time we've already spoken to it? Are there others who might want to comment? Michael, you were.
Yeah, I was just wondering how this works. So we send a letter to the commission, to the city, or?
I can give you that, at least the city attorney that we work with.
Okay. And and I can't remember how far we went with this last year. Did we pass a motion last year to do the same thing, or did we do this last year as well? Pass a motion to, Tom mentioned that we discussed this last year. I can't remember.
Well, no, we did, we sent on our recommendations, the city attorney has to investigate them. That's why the 311 calls become very important.
Yeah.
The timeline, and also not what people may have thought were gunshot at the time, but will actually report as 311. But all of the police runs and all of that are part of it. And in some cases, if it's a first step, and where Jack's was at about 2 years ago, I would say, because there was a point there where they cleaned up things. There were certain parameters that were put out there so that they knew there were problems. And there was change of ownership, and there was much more, you remember, lighting on the outside, much more concern. The new owners were very aware of what was going on. And then, quite actually unexpectedly, this incident happened 3 weeks ago, I believe. And, but last year, we did what we needed to do, and we guided through to the city attorneys look at it, the city council that votes on it, and we are certainly privy to why they may or may not have supported it lately, but they do not dismiss it. This is everything that I have received, and Katie, I think, did a great job of summarizing. You have seen everything that and how I have responded, and then with some of the stream that has gone through the city. So it's hitting all departments. And I'm getting a lot of response, and tomorrow I will follow up with active motion and knowing what we were going to hear tonight. Well, not knowing, but taking in all of this. I'll have a conversation with the city attorney tomorrow.
So if residents wanted to tell someone at the city to not renew the liquor license, they would?
They're always welcome to be able to express that opinion to city council, because ultimately that's who will be deciding.
Okay.
Just know too that we're part of the grassroots that is filtering in all of this information to provide the city attorney in any way we can. And I noticed that Catherine gave you her card, and she is also a good contact because she works for the Department of Neighborhood through the city. And so she's working on her end. I think we're trying all to be in the last almost week that this has just come up back to us again, to be as conscientious as we can and keep positive documented records. And that will help substantiate, as Tom has said, is important to all of this. I hope that brings a little bit more understanding about how this is.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, yes.
If I could make also a comment, and I said this in the planning committee that you attended, and that is, the liquor license objection process happens once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And years ago, we developed on the commission a liquor license process to try to use these processes as early as like January, February, so by the time August came around, we could already submit these proposals to city council. The city council on vacation until September. And as soon as they come back in September, October 1st is when they actually review liquor license objections. You have to get these into the hopper quick. So making that recommendation now is absolutely imperative, not next month, that's even now. We do it next month, they have to wait an entire year to review it again. We don't want that. Okay?
No.
So it's very important that we move forward with this today.
Now, was that just to get the liquor license for the building, or? is it
Well, it's the
against
Ohio
that?
Department of Liquor, and so they actually make the determination. And I just want to kind of correct Tom on one thing. They only hear that once a year, it generally comes up in fall. So it doesn't mean there's a whole year that passes, but it just so happens that this is coming up very close to when they will come back to us and either ask us to comment on things that we know about. They're looking through their records, and in some cases, it's such a clear cut, maybe not here until they actually make a decision because it was the same one we were hoping for. So I don't know if I really answered your question, but I think that the takeaway maybe very much where Katie was indicating that is there is nothing at all that stops you from keeping this foremost in the minds of the city council, the Shannon Harding president, with all of that especially given the personal nature to your family, to your future, to remembering your son is so important that I think this helps to keep that in their mind. And I think city council is very responsive to.
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Arden yesterday, he gave me a call, and I just wanted to say that they were making $1,000 donation to the Carroll Home for the service. So $1,000 rather than I have to worry less about very much items.
And if anything, I do agree with Tom that in the past, it may have been a different timetable, and often they came to us and we gave them a list where we had heard, surprisingly, sometimes, these are a couple years ago, the list would come back to us. There was something going on, especially underage drinking and bars that had suddenly.
Walking, this guy
Right,
was walking out to the middle of traffic.
Right, and there were things we saw on that that we had never seen before. So now they sort of, because they're more automated and they're trying to make everything absolutely crystal clear that this is a part of the legal case, that they will all work together, but their initiative has become so much more sophisticated. Small consideration, but at least it's important.
Correct answer sufficient, they would revoke the license from the current owner, not the building.
Right.
And I might suggest like a big rally, and call all because the TV stations, local media are starved for a good story. And they would all cover it, and if we did it prior to the meeting, council members and the mayor, they react to what's big news.
Yeah, there's only a set number of liquor licenses for precincts and whatnot, and they watch to the saturation. That often comes up on the Erie side, about the saturation of the liquor licenses. So it's right, the liquor license then becomes maybe available for somebody else that's completely different purpose.
Somebody else could
Because
come in
it's
and
just
you
a
can
number
you can
to
sell
them
to
and
someone
that,
else.
right, and that works out.
Also critical is this goes before the state board of liquor license. In the past, when we have fought these, and I think Beyond is the one that comes to mind, we, the commission, and community members like yourself, showed up at that liquor license hearing to state our opinion. So they heard from everybody as to why we should shut down a particular place. If you don't do that, they hear the two different sides, and if we don't show and the attorneys for the bar shows, they may just give a liquor license.
And ultimately, it's the Department of Commerce that holds the.
There is a meeting just before they vote, and we all.
Do you think we might be, with our discussion up here, ready to vote?
Yeah.
There's a question from Jack, so Tom is gonna give us a.
Question, I guess, slash suggestion. Would it be appropriate to ask a representative from the city attorney's office to come to our next meeting, especially in response to the resolution that we're passing?
I will ask more, but I will tell you that things are heading toward court. They prefer not to have discussions because, quite frankly, they're not in a position to look like they prejudge, nor are we. Although as grassroots, we are advisory from our perspective. We can form a definite opinion that we believe based on what we're hearing to move on. But I think that I understand why you're asking. Yes,
I would agree with Tim.
I mean, Swin sent out the email earlier today with the names of the two attorneys that are in charge of the investigation into Jack's. Could we ask one of them to?
Well, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. In fact, I put that on for executive committee tonight because it's kind of so late. I do know everybody else had gotten their email very quickly today to look at it. So I think we're all rolling. I'm glad you brought that up. I think we're all rolling in the same direction with that. And I think the city attorney would probably directly be in touch with you. Would be my guess also.
We're all in here.
We ready to
And I would just say the only very brief comments I have is, this came to me from people that live in the Glen Echo neighborhood, and then Sohud also, so outside of the meetings and whatnot, and people want to shut it down.
before you call, there's just a hand around.
Oh, yep.
From somewhere.
Yeah, I just, if we're going to be talking to the city attorney, is there a reason we are only asking for the liquor license to be revoked, or can we also ask them to declare it a public nuisance? It looks like Zach Klein's office did that with another bar recently where somebody was killed and they had a lot of community complaints. So I don't know if we can be part of that process or if we can consider that.
The only thing is that the motion is already coming from the committee, and the wording is generally whatever they said it as, and that's how they're voting on it. I think by taking the broadest possible, the mainstay of the problem, it will eliminate some of the other problems should that be able to go through. But all those things become part of what the city attorney is dealing with. They are aware because of the 311 calls, the police ones, whatever else information. Because I don't know if that quite answers it, but it's a good point that I think we're voting on.
We have a vote on this now.
Tom, I'm
You
sorry.
take a vote now.
Tom, we need to vote on this now. As it is stated as a motion. Should it not pass, there would be opportunity to rework the motion. But I think, for the sake of the majority of people on the commission, we'll find out how they feel when they vote. Katie, do you want to call roll?
Yes.
Or if you're not gonna read the motion.
I already
did.
Oh, you did. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. The motion is that the UAC should recommend that the city rescind Jack's Corner Pub's liquor license. All right,
That's the complete motion.
That's the only thing the city ever asked of us. So
Well, I would suggest, but due to,
we're not adding a friendly amendment unless we vote.
so go ahead. Can I ask a question?
So we should vote this down so that we can change it. Is this correct?
Oh, God, no.
Let's turn to our wise.
Thank you.
And I understand why we try to always have this written so that we don't, we're not tinkering and trying to redo it. Our options are.
Ideally, we should vote on this, and I apologize, I've let this get way out of control from what motion should have been. We should have had discussion on the motion, and we should move forward. So I do apologize for that. Again, due to the situation, I think it's appropriate to hear everyone's opinions, but we really need to take this to a vote at this time. We certainly can make another motion. I would recommend motions are written and are sent to us beforehand, so people can feedback on that before the motion comes to everyone. When they come out of committee, generally the committee should be making those changes to the motion. We can certainly make a new motion and take it through the correct process if you want to. It doesn't even have to vote this one down, you can simply have to make another motion. So.
And Katie, the way it was worded was in the minutes of the planning committee which we received.
Yes, today.
So it did not stand out as a separate motion and it's not what it was.
Yeah, and let me, do I need to verify? Wait 1 second. I sent it literally moments before I left the home today, so. And thank you all for waiting. I'm sure this is excruciating for you. Motion to submit request to eliminate the liquor license of Jack's Corner Pub.
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
Motion to submit request to eliminate the liquor license of Jack's Corner Pub. What's the specific language?
That language is better than the other language.
You prefer the committee language?
What you just said, because
Yeah.
the city doesn't have any liquor license. I mean, they can object to it, right, but it's actually the state.
All right, great, I'll update it right now.
Right, I mean, we should use the committee language anyway, since that was the motion.
All right, so revised. All right, so this is the motion to submit a request to eliminate the liquor license of Jack's Corner Pub. Jillian Dyer? Yes. Eric East is not here. Jeremy Davis?
Yes.
Deb Gallagher is not here. Justin Garland is not here. Seth Bowling?
Yes.
Pasquale Grada?
Yes.
David Hagley?
Yes.
Sadie Jenkins is not here. Michael Kellmeyer?
Yes.
Katie McDevitt, yes. Benjamin McKinley?
Yes.
Demetrius Moore Saunders is not here. Kevin Pangrace is not here. Leon Sellers?
Yes.
Tim Sublette?
Yes.
Doreen Newhouse-Sauer?
Yes.
Steve Waldron?
Yes.
Tom Wildman?
Yes.
Brian Williams?
Yes.
The motion unanimously passes with 14 yeses.
Thank you.
And if you all set up like a GoFundMe or something like that, can you share that with the commissioner?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. We're gonna do that on the-
Also, do you have a contact number?
Yes.
My
We
number
have
is
her speaker,
speaker.
so your email address is on your speaker, so, okay. We're gonna move on the agenda to the committee reports, and we'll go back to the start of that with zoning with Seth.
Oh, okay. Zoning this month, we had 2 cases and 2 special event permits. The 2 cases, one didn't show up, that was the 1462 and 1466 Hamlet. Although 3 people did show up, they got the cards that were sent out, very not supportive of what they did here. So that we rescheduled for this next month. We did have 1393 show up, and they were actually, I asked if they were, Mike Shannon, if they were looking for a vote. He said yes. I suggested that they make it a preliminary, because big cases, we almost always do that. And he was more than happy to, so some of his immediate businesses and residents could hear more about it, and have more time in the quick vote. So that'll be coming back to zoning. We also had 2 special permit. One would be the East 13th between High and Pearl. That was unanimously not supported. And we have the one which we will hear, but before that, I also wanted to, BZA is going to have the hearing on 3 cases we have heard. The 1380 5th Street, 384 Arcadia, the porch, and 1365 North 5th Street. These are 3 cases we're all familiar with. If you want to or know any constituents that might want to weigh in on that, it's the Tuesday, August 22nd at the BZA building at 4:30. So just 111 North Front Street. bring that to your attention. There's, in one of those cases was something he wanted to speak of. But anyhow, this would be Nora Gerber, the UDO, with the Pearl Jam, which would take place between 15th and 16th. Take it away.
Alrighty, hello. Alright, so the Pearl Jam is an arts and culture festival to highlight the local talent of the University District. We are proposing to have a 2-day event, Saturday, October 7th and Sunday, October 8th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. both days. This event would have live painting, local vendors, as well as live music and performing artists. This would take place on Pearl Alley, as the name suggests. The Pearl Jam is going to be on Pearl Alley, and it'll be between 15th and 16th Avenues, and then will also take place on University Square Plaza, which is at 15th and High. We have a call out for artists, both for muralists as well as for performing artists. The muralists, you'll ask, what are they painting? They are painting 4 of the unpainted dumpsters in Pearl Alley. If you remember, UDO has commissioned artists in the past to paint dumpsters to turn them from trash to a treasure. We're gonna call them the Pearls of Pearl. But we haven't painted all of those dumpsters, and this is an opportunity to continue that collection. So we'll paint 4 dumpsters and then have different performing artists throughout those 2 days. We do note that it is on homecoming for Ohio State, and so on Saturday, to accommodate some homecoming and the joy of watching college football, we will have an LED screen on 15th. So you see 2 different diagrams. The first diagram is for Saturday and the second is for Sunday. Saturday, we are requesting 15th to be closed from North Pearl to High Street. And just on Saturday to accommodate that LED screen, because it can't go up onto the plaza, because it'd be too heavy because it's a truck. And then that would also allow us to give us space for a couple of extra food trucks. So the Saturday diagram closes off 15th Avenue. The Sunday diagram does not, and so that's just something to note. The zoning committee had asked me to talk a little bit about insurance. Do we have it? We're getting we have, it's our special event insurance is at the underwriters currently. They also asked for event flow. If you have questions, I know you'll have questions. So if you have questions about the event flow, but the arrows on this document should show you how to evacuate and where our main points of entry and entrance are. We will be selling alcohol at the event. We're applying for an F2 permit. We will be checking IDs, and we will also have barricades set up. Those are the pink dots around in the diagram as well, to ensure that it's essentially a DORA, drinking area. And then also within the packet, there is a safety plan and the signatures from the businesses that are impacted by, from the business owner or the property owner that is impacted by the event itself. I probably have more time, but I think I covered it.
Okay. Let's go to commissioner comment. No, how about you, Brian?
Just quick up on the beer sales, the tokens. That will be part of the. Oh, yes. Right. Oh, you're good.
Yes.
Super well organized.
think we covered pretty much everything in zoning, seems pretty well organized.
Nothing except to assure you that, as Laura's been doing due diligence to walk through things, but we know from block party permits, sometimes things arise. But the paperwork is in, and both she and I have spoken with other Parks and Rec, so that if there is something that might have Dr. Tuma, the license for the tents, for instance, that comes from all of a sudden from some other place, there's time to make sure that those things are covered and taken care of. So, if all those ends don't completely seem tied or another pops up, we should be able to deal with that.
Your tent vendor should know if he needs a permit for your tent. And then they should set up all of the inspections. The question I had was, the truck with the screen trailer, like it's placed on the north side of 15th, is it gonna be viewed from the south or viewed from the north? Whatever you.
Yeah, go on, get in.
Nothing beyond the committee work, except to thank them for their diligence.
Sounds great. I was wondering if you sent out call for artists yet.
Okay, do I get to, wait, we have to go around again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was wondering if she has sent out a call for artists yet.
Did, anyone else?
Telling
have
you,
anything
closed
to add?
captions.
I was curious, our food trucks, when they still submit to you? If there is.
Well, I gotta wait, are we done? Questions, so I
Yeah, I guess that would be.
Okay, all right, so I now have 3 minutes. Tokens, yeah, we're gonna have tokens. We're gonna use the pics that Matt actually had gotten from an event that wasn't able to happen because of COVID, so we got tokens. Temporary structures and tent vendors. So the tents are gonna come from the local vendors. They're gonna bring their own tents. So that's why there might be a temporary tent license, but well, if the issue is that if we have 7 or more together in a row, then we do, but 3 of those spots are actually gonna be the Soha Collective bus, a vintage wares bus. So that actually should get us around getting that. And so, and also Soha Collective is the one that is curating all of our local vendors. So if you know of a local vendor, go to Soha Collective on their Instagram and they can apply there. Is the screen to be viewed south? So you'll be able to see it. So you will view it from the University Square Plaza. So you'll look at it south, it'll face north. Call for artists, yes, the call for artists is out. It's on our website, it's also on our Instagram. I can also send it to you.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and then food trucks, yes, we still have a call out for any food trucks, and so the committee will kind of review what we have so far. We'll have definitely 1 both days on Sunday, then we'll have 3 on Saturday.
1 on Sunday, 3 on Saturday?
Correct.
Okay.
Because we're gonna close off 15th on Saturday, so that gives us an area for at least 2 more, and then we'll just one at 16th and Pearl, which is the north east corner there.
Has the Sunday at 1 already been established?
Not fully yet. We're in conversations with a couple people, but I can't say that it's like written in stone. But we will also be making all of the announcements about like artists selected. Those artists selected will come out around in the first week of September, but then we'll make different announcements for the event and shows. And then if any of you are wanting to volunteer that weekend, we'd love to have you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if you're 21 and over.
And can 4 of us here, Jeremy, do a barbershop quartet?
If you apply, you have to apply, then the selection committee has to select you.
Yeah.
So. Demo. But I'm excited about it. Should be
Sorry.
fun.
Yeah, not to worry.
I know.
Questions? Okay, yeah, we're gonna get it to a vote. I don't think there's anyone in the community here that wants to.
Yeah.
All right, to vote on the Pearl Alley, Pearl Jam between 15th to 16th and 15th Avenue between North High and Pearl. Jillian Dyer. Eric East is not in attendance. Jeremy Davis.
Yes.
Doug Gallagher is not in attendance. Justin Garland is not in attendance. Seth Holding.
Yes, I think Tom should be an art exhibit.
Wally Grotto. David Hagley.
Yes.
Zeta Jenkins is not in attendance. Michael Kellmeyer.
Yes.
Katie McDevitt is yes. Benjamin McKinley.
Yes.
Demetrius Moore Saunders is not in attendance. Kevin Cambridge is not in attendance. Owen Sellers. Tim Sublette.
Yes.
Doreen Rojas Sauer. Steve Waldron.
Yes.
Tom Wildman.
Yes.
Brian Williams.
Yes.
Motion unanimously. Is it unanimous if there's one recusal?
Yeah.
Abstain.
The abstain goes with the majority.
Thank you. The motion unanimously passes for 13 yeses.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for putting together a great diagram.
Yeah.
Or whoever helped you with that.
My design intern helped, but we like both were just left looking at it very, very.
Just hand this packet over to anybody else who's coming, and say model after this.
So most likely, both the Plasma High Street Plasma Center project will be coming back, as will the two, the Carriage House.
Are we striking the special event from February?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to update the agenda, but they withdrew.
Yes.
Okay, you done? Seth?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll move on the agenda to governance with David.
Well, yeah, so something that's, it's all.
Oh. Two pages.
It's together, so, keep it together. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so well, okay, I want to read this one.
Yeah, it's one copy of all the changes, yeah.
Yes, if you have any of your updates, I wasn't able to take
Well, this is the zoning thing again.
Go ahead and share. Oh, here.
All right, so we have two proposed bylaw changes, I'd like to go on separately tonight. So just so that everyone is aware, it does take a 2/3 majority of the commissioners Forum two. So we've got, the first one is related to Article 4 meetings, specifically Section 7. This is related to changes. Apologize if I use all these to you. Section 7 reads, the commission shall not consider zoning cases received by the zoning committee chair less than. Now, it's changed from 14 days to 7 calendar days before regular monthly zoning meeting. Cases received less than 7 calendar days before regular monthly zoning meeting will be considered at the following month's meeting. There's no change to paragraph A Paragraph B states the commission shall notify all property owners within 125 feet of which zoning case, including appeals. All such owners shall be listed on the attachment. There's no change in paragraph C. Paragraph D is new. This is the need of the information that we're changing. So it states in the event an applicant appeals a previous decision by the area commission, the applicant or their designee must inform the zoning committee chair 7 days prior to the regular monthly zoning approval meeting. The area commission shall not entertain any appeal applied for more than 20 days after the date of the previous vote. The process to file an appeal is as follows. The applicant must provide the following to the zoning committee on the area commission website: an application form and a statement of appeals. Those are part of the attachments that I passed around and stated together. Number two, the zoning committee will review the statement of appeal to ensure all required information is provided, including the reason for the appeal, and changes that have been made since the original case.
Oh, my.
Number three, is the signature certifying the appeal information is accurate and complete is required from the zoning chairperson. Number four, once requirements for the appeal are met, the full area commission may reverse, affirm, or modify the previous decision upon presentation of the appeal documents. Paragraph E states the following time limits will be adhered to for all zoning cases heard before the commission. So this is a new point one, states prior to presenting the zoning case to the full commission, the zoning chair will ask the applicant if they're prepared to have the case voted on by the area commission. Only acknowledgement affirmative by the applicant or their appointed representative will allow the case to proceed. Once the zoning committee presents the facts of the case, only a motion by commissioners postponed indefinitely is permissible to suspend and take the motion to conclusion. A request or motion from the applicant to postpone a vote is never ordered once the commissioners take on the motion from the zoning committee. The change actually, it indicated it was a change, but number two, we moved, it used to be number 11 or 9, adding one, but it states the motion to extend the max time limits can be made at the beginning of the case, stating which portion should be extended and by how long. The motion must pass by 2/3 majority with no debate on this motion. So a lot of times people have asked, well, if we have more time, we always have this in our bylaws, but it's often overlooked, so we just moved it up in the order. So people are aware that, yes, I can actually send it on this situation. But you have to really short the case. So, multiple, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all original texts. So that is the bylaw change that we're proposing. This is our second reading, so you can't go vote on this at this time. Again, it does require 2/3 majority. I asked for any questions last time, no one came to the committee. We had a few questions last month, but we were in discussion on this.
And this is only for the full.
That's right.
Yes. Right, okay, and, okay, form, again, with number 2, for the, the extra time, you said as long as it's done before the case, are you talking before anything or before we allow the?
Yes, the 12.3 is zoning committee presents the facts of the case 5 minutes. Once you start, you can't extend the time. So that's why I moved it up to 3. So if someone wants to add more time to the case, so the applicant is saying, yes, I want to vote. Then if anyone wants to extend the time for that to do the case, then we should use it.
Or as chair, I think it's gonna be lengthy.
Does require 2/3 majority pass, and there's no debate on
is to wait for the 6.
Yeah.
Meeting no debate, meeting no discussion.
Correct.
But again, we must state exactly what portion you want to send and all that number to send. These are just like that, the blanket, we just want to hear however one creates. If you want to extend the applicant presentation from, you can say the applicant presentation on the 7 minutes. To something like that, it needs to be very clear. That's why there's going to be.
I guess I just wanted to remind people why we started this about a year and a half ago in zoning. We just had applicants going through multiple times until they would get a yes vote and then take their application through the UAC, full UAC multiple times in order to get a yes vote. So that's what started this whole process. And it's great that we're finally able to vote on it. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, you got to get it right. Sure.
I was wondering, okay, once I were to ask, do you want a vote? They can't shut it down at that point.
Once they say yes, they want to vote.
Okay, because yeah, a lot of times they can see that, this is, look, they say, can we table it? Well, we can do that, so, but if not.
So basically what it states is, only a motion by a commissioner to postpone indefinitely is permissible to suspend a motion to conclusion. So basically, if someone on the commission wanted to make a motion to postpone indefinitely, you must state exactly when. If you postpone indefinitely, you have to state how you want to hear this case next month. Or 2 months, it doesn't matter, you have to state the time.
If they're amenable to that.
Well, no, because they've lost control of that.
Okay.
But it's not usually they're people for like 3 months. That's one.
Right. And then lastly, the statement of appeal. I mean, it could be sort of subjective. I mean, what if they are just giving a boilerplate? They don't really have a good reason that they're, can we say, well, that's not good enough?
Well, so the city position on this is you have to vote as many times as the applicant will make the vote. So it can be subjective. We're putting an extra thing saying, if you sure you want to do this, we're just putting it's a speed bump.
Yeah, kind of process as opposed to loosey-goosey.
Right.
All right. For Higley eyes.
Any other questions? All right.
Got it. Jillian Dyer, University Area Commission motion to change the bylaws. Jillian Dyer? Yes. Eric East is not in attendance. Jeremy Davis.
Yes.
Deb Gallagher is not in attendance. Joseph Garland is not in attendance. Seth Golding.
Yeah.
Pasquale Grotto.
Yes.
David Hegley.
Yes.
Zeta Jenkins is not in attendance. Michael Kellner.
Yes.
Katie McDevitt is yes. Ben McKinley.
Yes.
Demetrius Moore Saunders is not in attendance. Kevin Hangrace is not in attendance. Leon Sellers.
Yes.
Tim Sublette.
Yes.
Lori Hassauer. Yes. Steve Waldron.
Yes.
Tom Wildman.
Yes.
Ryan Williams.
Yes.
Motion unanimously passes with 14
Man.
yeses.
How'd that happen? Lordy.
Yeah.
All right, now we've got one more motion. This one is to change Article 2, Section 4. This is regarding vacancies of district seats. So the city brought to our attention that our bylaws were not in meeting their requirements. So this, we put this in order to establish those requirements. So under Article 2, Section 4, Paragraph A, states that procedures and district seat on the commission because of resignation, death, disqualification, or other means, the corresponding secretary shall give public notice of the vacancy at least 30 days before the date on which the commission will vote to recommend a candidate to fill the vacancy. After providing an opportunity for persons interested in filling the vacancy to indicate their interest, the commission the following documents will be required to review 1 week prior to the area commission meeting where a vote will be taken on the opening. Point 1 is an official petition form signed by 30 individuals who are qualified as set forth in 4.6.3 of the University Area Commission election rules. Paragraph A under that is petition form shall provide a space for the name and address of the signer, his or her signature, and the date. The name and address of the candidate shall appear prominently in the top along with the signed statement that the candidate will observe the election rules and the bylaws. Number 3, the City of Columbus Registrar form, and number 3 is City of Columbus Area Commissioner profile. Those last 2 are both items that the city requires, so we got them out, we'll just get that right away. Paragraph B states the commission shall vote according to Article 1, Section 7 to select a candidate to fill the vacancy for striking until the next annual meeting, and then stating for the remainder of the term. So just to make it clear what the violation is, in the past, the last 50 years, the commission has only appointed people to fill the remainder of that year. It was only brought to our attention last year that was incorrect, and that we should be filling the remainder of the term, the full term. So there are cases now where someone who comes to the area commission, apply for these seats, not go through the election process, and get a 2-year term. Under that, paragraph 1, there's no change. We're striking paragraph 2 under B, which says that the next annual election, a member shall be elected to complete an expired term in accordance with Article 6 of the bylaws. We're striking that. And then paragraph C, D, and E, there is no change. So again, this is to bring our bylaws in compliance with the city's position on the vacant seats. Any questions or discussion on this motion?
David, is it correct in my notes that this could be referred to as Article 2, Section 4? And the first one is Section 7?
The first one was Article 4, Section 7.
Okay. I did, and then I also, you read it last month, so I have to maintain that. I just wanted to be sure I'm just writing correctly.
Any other questions or comments on this one?
I mean, generally, I just prefer to having more inclusive in terms of instead of his or her, just be their signature. So that way we're being more encompassing of our community.
Honestly, when I read it, it's not about that. So if you're making a friendly amendment to that, does anyone object to the amendment to change his or her to their?
No.
It's easier to read.
Wow, that was easy. We didn't have to vote on it a million times.
Painless. I don't know what everybody's talking about. These friendly amendments go easy.
Really? Can't they all be friendly? Oh. Then it becomes hostile.
That's why they call me Ben Unobjectionable McKinley.
University Area Commission motion to change bylaws, Article 2, Section 4. Jillian Dyer?
Yes.
Eric East is not here. Jeremy Davis?
Yes.
Doug Gallagher is not in attendance. Joseph Garland is not in attendance. Seth Golding?
Yes.
Espolia Grotto?
Yes.
David Hegley?
Yes.
Zeta Jenkins is not in attendance. Michael Kellmeyer?
Yes.
Katie McDevitt is yes. Benjamin McKinley?
Yes.
Demetrius Moore Saunders is not in attendance. Kevin Grace is not in attendance. Levon Sellers?
Yes.
Tim Sublette? Yes. Dorian Johansauer?
Yes.
Steve Waldron?
Yes.
Tom Wildman? Brian Williams?
Yes.
Motion unanimously passes with 14 yeses.
Thank you very much. Thanks for listening to me.
Katie, was there anything on your notes?
Yes, so. Scroll down.
Another commission.
Planning and
I think they want to
development.
immortalize some of these is like, when you come up with a proposal, have this.
Okay.
Maybe they'll
We've
saturate
been
it
working on the
too.
University Area Commission's 50th anniversary party and created a subcommittee. Eric East and Katie McDevitt, we've already met once. Scaling it all the way back from 10 grand vision. I'm sorry, I'm a commercial video producer, so pie in the sky, to doing something that is more cheap and easy. So we are working on that now, and we'll be meeting to discuss more specifics this Friday.
Yes.
Secondly, we strategized on how we can make Hudson, Summit, and 4th Street safer. We voted unanimously to create a subcommittee led by Jillian Dyer, including Steve Waldron and Katie McDevitt. And that is, I think we're kind of trying to ideate, and I think Jillian's paying specific attention to the letter of the law, which is a huge, huge asset, looking at what we can use to our advantage that already exists. So I think that I'm really hoping that we're gonna make more progress on this than we ever have in the past. So thank you.
Really awesome. I have a bit of a correction. No.
Yep.
Odawa's prom, they do have to approve state limit changes,
Okay.
but it has. Half the people I talked to there didn't know their own schools. Yeah.
So I think that was really great. Jillian had some research that was brought up regarding like, because 4th and Summit are state.
Because they're state route, yeah. I have way more info than that I'll talk about later.
So we'll summarize, yeah, for you all and kind of keep you all posted on some of the things we can do. And I think, Leigh, a lot of your observations on the solution map are really helpful, so thank you for that. That was it. So I think we're gonna try to accomplish more with the planning and development committee, so that we can get more through by creating some committees, just be a little bit more efficient in the strategy. That's it.
So moving on to the agenda to, community relations.
Great. We had kind of a quick meeting this month. We talked about the website. I met with Juliana from the Community Design Center about the new site. We went over, we sent her a list of what we would like. The committee sent her a list of what we would like. We went over that list. I went over that list with her to further flesh out some ideas. She also gave us a new logo, which I sent out to everybody, and some new brand colors, which are great. And we're going to, I'm sure I will meet with her and continue the work on the website. She also wanted to know if we wanted it built in Wix or WordPress. We chose Wix because it's, you can do a lot more with it. Another note, I did reach out to the Lanterns advisor, and I'm going to meet with their reporter. They come back on the 20th, I think. That's when they decide who gets what beat. So I'm going to talk with them, give them story ideas. If anybody has anything that they would like me to pass on to the reporters and Lantern staff, let me know. Obviously, zoning and the price of student housing, in my mind, is the big one. So think about it. Let me know if you have anything. And I think that's it. And we are recording tonight. Yes, it is. You know it. Yes, you're a star, Seth. Sure.
Yes, Board of Elections met today before our meeting. We have confirmed members, including Stephen Holman, who I forgot to late to that meeting, but he came, or I apologize. I was unanimous, actually, I wasn't unanimous still because I voted no on my nomination as board chair, but I was elected chair. And then we set our regular meetings for the first Wednesday of the month at 5:30. So we will meet for a half hour before governance, first Wednesday of the month in September, October, and then November 4th will be the election. Saturday, November 4th.
Do you need to remind everyone who's up for elections?
I've mentioned it to everybody who is up for election. If you don't remember, I can, I have to look it up again because I don't remember off the top of my head. But there's a member from each district is up for election. Two from yeah, and then if you were appointed to the seat halfway through the year, at the beginning of the year.
When would, you know,
But the packet will be posted to the website probably in the next week. It has to be posted by September 1st.
ballpark?
I should, but I don't.
So I don't log onto that website.
When I post the packet, I will send it to all commissioners who are up for election. So that's.
The website will look much better soon, so you'll have to go there just to admire it.
Oh, yeah. Where's that from?
They've done some renovations already.
Yeah, we already have made some changes, but yeah.
It's gonna have a major change.
It's going to have a major change. Won't look anything like it does now. Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on to district concerns. Michael, why don't we start on your?
Sure. The 7th and High construction is winding down. They have barriers taken down now. There's still, it's still lots of traffic. I mean, there's still trucks in the right lane of King Avenue, so it's still down to one lane. But it hopefully will be ending soon after however many years it's taken. I guess that's it.
I don't think I have any that have come about from CGS or anything like that. But just as a reminder, this weekend is move-in for OSU, so there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out of that. I know that everybody here has probably been through it so many times that it's just kind of become old hat, but just as a reminder, my only general concern is they've made a lot of improvements to the pedestrian crossings on High Street, but the one at Frambies and High still does not have any flashers when people are crossing the street and no active signage about that particular crossing. I know there have been issues before with pedestrians being hit because it is the only one marked that I know of in the university area on High Street that is either not at a light intersection or has the flasher button when you cross the street. So that one is a particularly unsafe crossing.
King Avenue Methodist Church is hosting a session this Saturday morning on issues of homelessness. I believe it is at 9 or 9:30. If you're interested, please contact me after the
Most of our concerns in District 3 are made posters on the solutions map.
Can you speak up, please?
Most of my concerns in District 3 are made on the solutions map. Still waiting for pedestrian walk crosswalks to, be painted. I kind of feel like that'll be done once construction is done. Zora's house is coming along very nicely, along with the gate. That should be done here pretty soon. Along 7th Avenue, going towards, West down High Street. They're wrapping that up right next to 7th Avenue. You still, building that monstrosity there. Other than that, Water Park Community Festival is this Saturday from 12 to 3. So you guys have fun, come down, enjoy the entertainment, food, and hang out with the community. Other than that, that's all I have. Well, first game for my Wilton team now is not September 3rd. It's down to 27th this month, so it tells a lot of reasons why I'm not been here, because I've been busy. But so we have our first game against Waterston Friday.
Oh, Waterston.
Yeah. Big, strong, and slow. So, we're gonna try our best. Yeah, have to have the numbers.
You're the West End guy? All right. I all the Bronski, baseball team.
Self-graduate. I remember just softball, and he's also committed to football.
Sorry, I made a bad.
Very good.
Just as Ben mentioned, this week is move-in. Today was the first official day of move-in. As of, 5 p.m., we probably have about 5,700 students in out of our 15,000. So, Friday and Saturday are gonna be the bigger days, but it's not like, since we've spread it out over, 4 or 5 days, it's not like it was when historically we closed campus down completely, for a day for move-in. So, it won't be as bad for you this weekend as it was several years ago, but campus will be crazy, campus area will be crazy. And you'll start to notice all of the students on High Street more and more, which is exciting for me at least. Next weekend is welcome week. Next week is welcome week, so there's a lot of events planned on campus. You guys can kind of crash them. Commissioners. So.
Jordan, you said 5,700 out of 7,000 to do?
No, like 15.
Yeah, increase that.
15,000 plus.
Yeah.
5,700 out of 15,000 plus.
I think I think that includes all the early move-ins too, so.
Yeah, we had, this morning, as of this morning, before official movement even started, we had 2,500 students in already.
They were all at Target this afternoon.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace to Target till October.
I think I Ravine had its first actual move in 4 years, through COVID and whatnot. But there'll be an election soon and probably committee reports and all of that. So, Nora, I promise that if we don't have your marker erected this fall, it will be safe in my garage and we'll do the installation in spring. We had not had that specific thing, so we can probably do that. And the 3 male deer with the big antlers are still in our front yard, posing at any given time for pictures on request.
Yeah, I had a neighbor that I've been in my house for 30 years, making my last house payment tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, sure. But my neighbor Aloysius, who is a professional clown.
Oh, wow.
I hired him for my first daughter's birthday 29 years ago. But anyhow, he came up to me, he brought this up before, but he's got a very good point. And I'm a little pissed off that I've waited 30 years to do something about it, because but he's very concerned about years-long cars come up, or Ackerman, Doddridge, they come up my block, I'm the first one, East Avenue and Doddridge, I'm on the corner. and they either race toward Arcadia or they race toward Hudson because they're cutting through a residential. And I've had 4 kids that are gone.
Been a lot.
Yeah, out of the house. You know, they played on that corner for years, and sometimes the things closest to you, you don't really see. And you know, he said, it's your daughter plays basketball, and he said they need to do a study on how fast the cars are going, how many cars are going, and there should be signage, no through traffic, or one way toward High Street. But I've ignored this for many years. I'm not going to ignore it again. So if I can get you Swit or to move this forward, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So I appreciate that. If they have to sign things, they can get counts and speed limits. I mean, yes, they do.
I mean, well, I'm just nodding my head, like, I think Jillian's gonna talk a lot about,
I have a lot of info on that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm nodding yes, like you're speaking to the choir.
Yeah,
Speaking of the
whatever
choir.
you guys feel is the best, that is, I mean, it's a major arterial exit ramp on 315, funneling through a very residential neighborhood. Plus, I would like that same street, East Avenue, when North High opened up, Tom Longman and I talked to Columbus Public Schools, that's what they were probably calling it, but about not that there were like 50 buses. They should be using high school. It's, you know, they don't, we'll use high school. They don't. You know, and so all these kids are getting off buses, walking in a resident, and they're flying down East Avenue. So that would be another thing, you know, we could, it's very dangerous street now. It's a miracle for kids that survive. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry it takes so much time.
A couple little things. One is, for some people, I can't remember, one girl from Chesapeake, the people are complaining about Portal Park again, and the homeless that are gathering there. We should probably look out before the Dominion gets back in, because the Dominion lets their kids sometimes go down to High Street for lunch. And I remember when they first started doing that, some of the kids were making complaints that they were intimidated to go down that way because the amount of homeless were not parking themselves in that park. Just an FYI. The other thing that's really been bugging me a lot, and I know Lynn already went through all of this, the Verizon Wireless 5G towers that are going in. I've noticed they're tearing up brand new sidewalks that just went in on corners, and tearing handicap ramps, or tearing up freshly paved roads, and they're putting these really ugly, tiny little patches in. When we had Columbia Gas come through and do that exact same thing, they were required to replace the entire sidewalk section, not just this little tiny patch in the middle of the sidewalk. I think we need to address this with Verizon Wireless and the state of Ohio, because the state of Ohio gave permits out to put the 5G into the university district, and the city has very little power over that. But I really hate these brand new sidewalks that look beautiful, nice handicap ramps. Now they got these little patches everywhere. It just looks horrible. So I think we need to address with Verizon. They're a very wealthy company. They can easily come in and just replace that section of sidewalk that they just tore up, or that section of road. Well, they started in Glen Echo, I think. That whole line looks like living. I know that down between Patterson Avenue down.
There's one on our block. There's one at Maynard, and Adams. But they're all over, but the one at Maynard and Adams, there's a bunch of pockets of gravel that you can't even walk on the sidewalk back to your house.
And when I confronted this thing, you know, if you're like, you should have drill bits that Columbia Gas has, which allows you to just drill sideways. Why do you need to tear up all these sidewalks? You could just go underneath. And they said they don't have that. Well, like, they should have. They're turning up a lot more of our infrastructure that we just replaced. And I think they need to replace it to make it look nice again.
Thank you, Tom, for putting that.
So big points is, the unhoused population is taking over the parks, and resulting litter and drug trash is a huge concern. So specifically the entrance to, the Olentangy Trail at Hudson by Understory, to the south side of that, there were like immediately giant, camps. And then, I saw, like plastics and maybe some, like, there's just like tents, giant tents right to the south side of that entrance. Then there's running trails that are like kind of laced through the woods there, and they're very close. There are like tents and like encampments and fires and all of that stuff, all close to the running trails. I spoke to Eric East, his wife also encountered that. I reported those to 311, and I did see NetJets and Parks and Rec collaborate to clean up some parts of Tuttle Park. And then, as Tom observed, I've also gotten reports from a number of neighbors, and then I